The verse I have been given is Canto 4, Chapter 1, Verse 3. Is that correct?
Prabhuji, you would like to read in Hindi or English?
I'm okay. I think I've got English open.
Okay, let me share that.
Yes, yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayesu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 1, Verse 3. Prajapati sa Bhagavan Ruchistasya Majijana Mithram Brahma Varchasvi Paramena Samadhina. Prajapati sa Bhagavan Ruchistasyam Ajijana Mithunam Brahma Varchasvi Paramena Samadhina. Prajapati sa Bhagavan Ruchistasyam Ajijana Mithunam Brahma Varchasvi Paramena Samadhina. The word for meaning and the translation. Prajapati, one who is interested with begetting children. Sa, he, Bhagwan, the most opulent. Ruchi, the great sage Ruchi, the Syam in her. Ajijanat gave birth. Mithunam, couple. Brahma Varchasvi, spiritually very much powerful. Paramena, great strength. Samadhina, in trance. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Ruchi was very powerful in his Brahminical qualifications and was appointed one of the progenitors of the living entities. He got one son and one daughter by his wife Akuti. The word Brahma Varchasvi, purport, is very significant. Ruchi was a Brahmana and he executed the Brahminical duties very rigidly. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Brahminical qualifications are control of the senses, control of the mind, cleanliness within and without, development of spiritual and material knowledge, simplicity, truthfulness, faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, etc. There are many qualities which indicate a Brahminical personality, and it is understood that Ruchi followed all the Brahminical principles rigidly. Therefore, he is specifically mentioned as Brahma Varchasvi, one who is born of a Brahman father but does not act as a Brahmana is called, in Vedic language, a Brahmavandha, and is calculated to be on the level of Shudras and women. Thus, in the Bhagavatam, we find that Mahabharata was specifically compiled by Vyasadeva for Stri Shud Brahmavandhu. Stri means women, Shudra means the lower class of civilized human society, and Brahmavandhu means persons who are born in the family of Brahmanas but do not follow the rules and regulations carefully. All of these three classes are called less intelligent. They have no access to the study of the Vedas, which are specifically meant for persons who have acquired the Brahminical qualifications. This restriction is based not upon any sectarian distinction, but upon qualification. The Vedic literature cannot be understood unless one has developed the Brahminical qualifications. It is regrettable, therefore, that persons who have no Brahminical qualifications and have never been trained under a bona fide spiritual master, nevertheless comment on Vedic literatures like the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and other Puranas, for such persons cannot deliver their real message. Ruchi was considered a first-class Brahmana, therefore he is mentioned here as Brahma Varchasvi, one who has full prowess in Brahminical strength. मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्ति। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च स्वरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं सजीवम् तद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवम्। Hare Krishna. Can you all hear me clearly? Is the audio okay?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Just a few seconds, Prabhu. I pay my obeisances to you. It's now 3 a.m. in London. And last night when I asked Prabhu for the class, and immediately he responded, I'm okay with the Friday. So I'm very thankful. My obeisances to you, Prabhu, from our heart. And at 3 a.m. also, if there is a service, the devotee should, wake up and stand for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So this is the example that is set by Raghupati Prabhu, and he has got all the mercy of our Guru Maharaj. I'm very grateful to you, Prabhu. I pay my obeisances. Thank you once again, Prabhu.
My obeisances to you and all the devotees who assembled here, because time is time. Time is powerful. And our Guru Maharaj was very particular in terms of time. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Yes, it is 2:54 a.m. In England, and I can see there are devotees from different places. So all of you have made sacrifice, be here for the association. So thank you to Shyamachandra Prabhu, and my wishes is to you, Prabhu, and all the devotees. This is wonderful to be here, and I think last time when I gave class, you were reading first canto, and today is fourth canto. So it must have been, maybe it's been a long time for me to be with you, unless we have changed the canto.
Yes. We are continuously reading Prabhu, and Varun Prabhu and so many devotees are continuing since the COVID. And yes, you are right. You came after a very long time. And we were reading his first canto. Now we have reached, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, which canto we are reading now. And
That's amazing. It's really, really amazing. So thank you, Prabhu, for running this wonderful Sangha online. And devotees are very intelligent. They make use of the facilities that are provided by the modern technology. So let's come back to the verse. Prajapati se Bhagwan ruchis tasyam ajijana mithanam brahma varchasvi parmena samadhina. Ruchi, who was very powerful in his Brahminical qualifications and was appointed one of the progenitors of the living entities, begot one son and one daughter by his wife Akuti. This is the verse for us today. We are hearing the description of the progeny of Swayambhu Manu. Now, somebody may question that Parikshit Maharaj, who only had 7 days to live, why Sukadeva Goswami decided to narrate the lineage of Manu, Swayambhu Manu, his daughters particularly, Akuti, Devahuti and Prasuti. So the answer is that the lineage of Swayambhu Manu, and particularly his daughters, Akuti, Devahuti and Prasuti, is very purifying. It is due to the fact that these daughters of Swayambhu Manu, they were great personalities. They married great personalities. And they gave birth to the incarnations of Godhead. It's like Devahuti, one of the daughters of Swayambhu Manu. She married Prajapati Kardamuni. And we know from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that she gave birth to Lord Kapilya, who is the propounder of Sankhya philosophy. Kapilas Tattva Sankhya. So they were not ordinary daughters or ordinary human beings. They were very powerful, very pure, great personalities. So, and Krishna decided the Lord became their son. And similarly, the personalities they married, they were great personalities. For example, Kardamuni. So he became eventually the father of Lord Kapildev and husband of Devahuti. So here we are in this verse today, hearing the description of the first daughter of Swayambhu Manu, Akuti. So Akuti married Ruchi Priya. And it so happened that Swayambhu Manu, although he had sons, but he thought that his sons were not so qualified to take the kingdom. Now, don't forget that Manu is the father of mankind. And Manu is also the father of Vivaswan, the sun god, who is our current Manu, Vivaswat Manu. So, Swayambhu Manu is a great personality, the son of Lord Brahma, and he is considered to be the father of mankind. In English, this word Manu comes from, man comes from Manu, mankind. It comes from Manu, Shatrupa Manu. They are the progenitors, original father and mother of mankind, and the lineage comes from Lord Brahma. So Manu told his daughter Akuti that your first son, your son should be given to me to be adopted as my son. It happened in the history many times that the father will adopt his grandson as his son. And sometimes this kind of arrangement was made. So this is a wonderful example of the emperor Manu, who was ruling the planet at that time, and he found that his own sons, two sons, were not qualified enough to take the kingdom. Same thing happened with Maharaj Bharat, another great pious king who became known as Bharat Maharaj, the great emperor in Kuru dynasty, Bharat Maharaj. They all became known as Bharatas. Like Krishna uses this word Bharat. Yada yada dharmasya glanir bhavati Bharat. So Bharat means the descendant of Bharat Maharaj. So he also found that although he had sons, but they were not so qualified. So then he adopted the son of Bharadwaj Muni. His name was Bhumanyu. So we can see that the kings were so pious, but at the same time, they were not attached to their own progeny, own sons and daughters, when it came to taking decisions of handing over the kingdom. But the anomaly came when Dhritarashtra became king. He wanted his son, who was not qualified, to become the heir of Kuru dynasty, and therefore he inflicted so many problems, so many calamities on the Pandavas, and eventually Mahabharata was fought. So coming to the verse today, I just presented a little bit of history to see what happened. You read this in the previous verse. So today we see that Prajapati Ruchi, he was given Manu's daughter Akuti. And the description we find here is that Ruchi was Brahmavarchasvi. So when we decide to give our daughter particularly to a qualified person, we look at some qualifications. So these rishis, particularly Maharaj Manu, he was giving his daughter to a rishi, a Brahmana, although he was a Kshatriya. And he wanted a Brahmavachasvi, a spiritually very much powerful Brahmana. So it's the natural thing for a father or mother to find a qualified person to take the hand of their daughter. So Prajapati Ruchi was Brahmavarchasvi, spiritually qualified. And then Prabhupada has given a vivid description of the qualification, Brahmanical qualification of Prajapati Ruchi. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Gita, we find the qualification of a Brahmana. Samodamos tapasaucham shantin arjamevacha jnanam vijnanam astikvam astikvam brahma karma svabhava. So, in the olden age, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, they were all classified based on the qualification. And later on, it became the birthright. And the whole system then collapsed. But actually speaking, this Varnashram system was created by God Himself. Chatur Varna Maya system, Gun Karma Vibhavata. So Chaturvarnam system Gunakam Vibhagasha Tasya Kartaram Apimam Vidya Kartaram Abhyam. So Krishna is saying that Chaturvarnam system, that this Varnashram system is created by me. How? Guna Karma Vibhagasha. It does not say Jati Karma Vibhagasha. It's not based on caste. But unfortunately, it becomes very pronounced in terms of caste. So anyone who was born in a caste of Brahmana became Brahmana, caste of Kshatriya became Kshatriya, and caste of Vaishya became Vaishya, caste of Shudra became a Shudra. But we find examples in ancient ages where Brahmanas acted as Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas acted as Brahmanas. The Brahmana acted as Kshatriya. The example is Lord Parasuram acting as Kshatriya. Lord Parasuram was born as a Brahman to Jamdagni Muni, but he acted as Kshatriya. On the other hand, Vishwamitra, he was born as a Kshatriya, but he acted as a Brahman. So it was based on qualification. Like Vishwamitra, he saw this Brahma Varchasva, the Brahmanical power in Vasishtha Muni. So let me narrate this story briefly and to see how powerful it was. So one time, Vishwamitra Muni as a king, King Vishwamitra, not Muni. At that time, he was not a Muni. So he went to the ashram, Vasishtha Muni. Now what happened? That Vasishtha Muni had a cow, Kamadhenu. And this Kamadhenu could feed unlimited amount of people, unlimited number of people. So he went there, and Vasishtha Muni received Vishwamitra and his army very nicely. And then he asked Nandini, his cow, Gomata, to feed the Brahmans. So Nandini immediately produced unlimited amount of food, fresh food, for them to eat. And Vishwamitra was very, very impressed. He said, wow, this is wonderful. So when they were about to go, Vishwamitra said to Vasishtha Muni, he said, I want this cow. Vasishtha Muni said, the cow belongs to the ashram here. And we are Brahmanas, I'm a Brahmana. So we live very simply, and we serve the cow. The cow has been in the ashram, and she should remain in the ashram. So he refused to give the cow. So Vishwamitra became very angry. And in his anger, he killed 100 sons of Vasishtha Muni. Kshatriyas. Yes, they are angry. They get angry. But Vishwamitra forgot that actually he was fighting against a Brahmana who was Brahma Varchasvi. He was very, very powerful Brahmana. Vasishtha. And Saint Vasishtha eventually became the spiritual master of Lord Ramchandra and all his brothers. He was the spiritual master of Raghu dynasty. Lord Ramchandra accepted him as his spiritual master. So he was extremely powerful sage, Brahmavarchasvi, very, very powerful in Brahminical qualification. So when Vasishtha saw that Vishwamitra has killed his 100 sons mercilessly, so he simply chanted a mantra, and through mantra he destroyed, annihilated entire army of Vishwamitra, King Vishwamitra. When Vishwamitra saw that just by chanting a mantra, Vasishtha has annihilated his entire army, thousands of soldiers, fighters. He was very impressed. So he said, okay, I killed 100 sons of Vasishtha, but he simply chanted one mantra and destroyed my entire army, which means that actually Brahmanas are more powerful than the Kshatriyas. Or Kshatriya Tej is more powerful than Brahmanical Tej. Tej means the power. The value of the Tej is power, vigor. So he saw that Kshatriyas fight, but Brahmanas simply chant mantras and destroy the army. Wow. He wanted to become a Brahman. So he performed many austerities for thousands of years, and eventually he gained enormous amount of powers. Indra wanted to destroy his austerities, interrupt with his austerities. He sent Menaka. From Menaka, Vishwamitra Muni, he fell down even in the process. And from the combination of Vishwamitra Muni and Menaka, Shakuntala was born. So Shakuntala became the mother of Maharaj Bharat, who was the emperor in Kuru dynasty. So Shakuntala was born of Menaka and great sage Vishwamitra Muni. When Shakuntala was born, Vishwamitra Muni came to know of his fall down. Then again he decided to go and become a Brahmana or attain Brahma Varchas, Brahmanical power. So when he attained these powers, he went to Vasishtha Muni and he said, do you consider me a Brahma Rishi now? And Vasishtha Muni said, not yet. He kept on saying, not yet, not yet. So eventually a time came when Vasishtha Muni accepted that yes, now Vishwamitra has become a Brahma Rishi, a Brahma Rishi. So this is how powerful the Brahmanas are, and this is what Brahma Varchas is, which is mentioned in the purport here, Brahma Varchas. So Brahmanas have these qualifications. Shamodamo tapasaucham, shantir arjamevacha, jnanam vikyanam astikam, brahma karma swabhavaja. These 8 qualifications are the Brahmanical qualifications. It means the control of senses, control of mind, cleanliness within and without, austerities, saucham, the cleanliness, then jnanam, the spiritual and material knowledge. Vijnanam. Vijnanam is realization. Astikyam, faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma Karma Sabhavajam. Vijnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam. Astikyam is the faith, and Brahma Karma Sabhavajam. 8 qualifications. These are Brahmanical qualifications. Now, Prabhupada mentions that Brahmanas, if they do not act like Brahmanas, then they are not a Brahmavandha. Similarly, Kshatriyas, if they don't act like Kshatriyas, then they are called Kshatriyavandha. So one of the great examples of Brahmavandhu in Mahabharata is Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama, although he was born to a great Brahmana, Dronacharya, but he acted very impiously. He killed the 5 sons of Draupadi when they were sleeping at the end of Mahabharata. The battle came to close, and at the end of Mahabharata, Duryodhana still wanted Pandavas to be dead. So when Kripacharya, Kritavarma, and Ashwatthama went to see Duryodhana, dying Duryodhana, when he was defeated by Bhimsen and his leg was broken. So he still expressed his desire that I want to see the Pandavas dead. And it was the evening, night. He said, you can please me. He said to Ashwatthama that you can please me if you bring the 5 Pandavas' heads. So Ashwatthama, he became the in charge, commander in chief, and Kripacharya and Kritavarma followed. And they went in the night and they killed 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and Drishtadyumna, Draupadi's brother. So, because of this act of mercilessly killing the sleeping sons of Draupadi, Ashwatthama has been called as a Brahmavandhu, which means that although born of a Brahmana father, a great Brahmana father, Dronacharya, Ashwatthama did not act like a Brahman. He acted like a butcher, because he went and butchered the sons of Draupadi who were sleeping. They were not even fighting, sleeping. So that act of butchering her sons, became a cause of Ashwatthama being punished by Arjuna. Eventually, you have read that in the first canto. So this is Brahmavandhu. Similarly, if a Kshatriya fails to protect his citizens or someone who came to his shelter, will be known as Kshatriya. So the description we discussed so far is that Brahma Varchasvi Brahmanas were known by qualification. And Krishna has given 8 qualifications, as mentioned in the purport. Shamodamo tapasvacham, shantir arjmevacha, jnanam jnanamastikhyam, brahma karma sabhav. So Brahmanas should be known by these qualifications, not simply by birth. But in Kali Yuga, it is so that actually it became birthright of Brahmanas to be Brahmanas. And then they took advantage of their position in the society. There are villages in South India, even North India, up to say 30, 40 years back, or maybe still now, where Shudras born in a Shudra family, if they pass through the street, and they have to declare that be aware that Shudra is coming. So people are not on the street and they won't get his shadow. Because if they get the shadow of his Shudra, the Brahmanas would go and take a bath. This is taking undue advantage of the position as Brahman. And eventually it became a political issue. Many political parties have actually cashed on this in India. And I don't want to repeat their slogans, but their slogans are very, very disturbing, very disturbing slogans against Brahmanas. There became whole conspiracy in India. Political parties, the British, and the Mohammedans, they took advantage of the caste system. And millions of Hindus then were converted to either Christianity or to Islam because of this very rigid caste system. Like the Muslim rulers in Mughal kingdom, they used to use many means. Particularly, they knew that if a Muslim simply threw dirty water on a Brahmana, that Brahmana would have lost his caste. So when a Brahmana was coming from the river after taking a bath, a Muslim will take some water in his mouth and then spit that water on a Brahmana. And then Brahmana would have lost his caste. From that day, that Brahmana will not be accepted in the Hindu society as a Brahmana, and then he will be forced to become a Muslim. So this way, the conversion went on. And millions of people converted because of the rigidity of the society based on the caste system, not on the qualifications. But Bhagavad Gita is emphasizing Guna Karma Vibhaksha, Chatur Varna Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhaksha. So now the situation is that political parties, they want to completely eradicate this Varnashram system, or they want to take advantage or divide the society into caste. Like in the recent elections, many political parties, they fought against BJP based on the caste system. I was in India when our spiritual master, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, passed away. I was in Delhi and Vrindavan. When I was in Delhi, I was going out of the airport. I was just finding out what was happening with this election. I asked the taxi driver, who was from Bihar. I said, what's happening in your state? And who are you voting? So I was just chatting with him. So he said, I'm a Yadav. So we will vote, I'm going to vote, my family will vote the Yadav party, Lalu Prasad Yadav's party. So it's very clear divisions. The political parties have taken full advantage of this caste division. So Hindu society nowadays is divided. So different castes are voting for the political parties who are favoring those castes. So Yadavas are voting for the party favoring Yadavas, and similarly, other castes are voting for political parties. So Hindus are like divided, and that is reflected in the elections. So that's an unfortunate situation currently. But coming to the spiritual division, monashram system is so nicely designed that if people simply follow that system, it's a spiritual system, then you can get purified and come back to Godhead. So Brahmanas, if they do their duties as Brahmanas, Kshatriyas do their duty as Kshatriyas, Vaishyas do their duty as Vaishyas, and Shudras do their duty as Shudras, they can all get purified and go back to Godhead. So Varnashram system is ultimately meant to please Krishna and not create unnecessary divisions in the society. On the other hand, anywhere you go in the world, whether it's England or America or Australia or even Arab countries, anywhere you go in the world, China, Japan, you would find four divisions of society. The Brahmanas are the intellectual class, Kshatriyas, administrative class, Vaishyas, business class, mercantile class, and Shudras, the working class. You're going to find this division everywhere you go. The Varnashram system is very scientifically organized. But when it is not followed and people take due advantage, then of course it becomes political and the society becomes topsy-turvy. So I'm just going to finish in next couple of minutes. Just highlight a couple of things. So in Mahabharata, which is meant for Stri Shudra Dvijbandhu Nam, Stri Shudra Brahmabandhu. Prabhupada mentions that how Stri Shudra Brahmabandhu, they do not have qualification to study the Vedic literature, the study of the Vedas. So Stri Shudra Dvijbandhu Nam, Trena Shruti Gochara. Now this has been used by political parties and people who wanted to start a conspiracy against the Vedic culture. That in Brahmin, the Vedic culture is not equal. They keep Stri, the women, Shudras, the working class people, and Dvijbandhu, these fallen sons, progeny of Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, who are not following in the same category. And therefore they do not give them right to study the Vedas. Now that is not the case. What we need to understand here, that people who want to study the Vedas have to have qualification to study the Vedas. And those qualifications are spiritual qualifications. It is not that in Vedic time and Vedic culture, these women did not study the Vedas. They did. For example, 5,000 years ago, Draupadi, she was sent to the Gurukul of Vasishtha Muni to study Vedas. So you would say that Vasishtha Muni was in the time of Lord Ramchandra. So how did she find Vasishtha Muni? No, these sages are there. Like Lord Parashurama is still living. Ashwatthama still living. Kripacharya still living. But they are invisible to the human eyes. The Lord Parashurama is still living. Because we find in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that he came to see Bhishmadeva when he was leaving his body. So they are still living. So Draupadi is a disciple of Vasishtha Muni. He also came to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Vasishtha Muni. Anyway, you can say that Draupadi is a god sister of Lord Ramchandra. Because Lord Ramchandra accepted Vasishtha Muni as his spiritual master. And Draupadi accepted Vasishtha Muni as her spiritual master. So, very, very qualified lady. So qualified that she was not only the topmost beautiful woman, one of the topmost beautiful women in the world, but she was also spiritually and materially very qualified. She used to give counsel to Maharaj Yudhishthira. And Mahabharata, you would see that how intelligent and educated Draupadi was. Then Maharaj Yudhishthira, who was the emperor, used to take her counsel, take her advice in the kingdom. So qualifications are important. Now, Vedic literature, they require some qualifications to be studied. And those qualifications are Shamodamotapasacham Shanti Marjamevacha Jnana Vijnanamastikam Brahma Karma Svabhavajam. So they are spiritual qualifications. So they have to be attained. Just like if you want to go and study medicine, you have to have preliminary qualification. Like in India, hundreds of thousands of students appear on CPMT exam, medical exam. You go to medical college, study medicine. Similarly, hundreds of thousands of students appear every year. You go and study engineering. You have to have some pre-qualifications to study the Vedas. But in this age, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have been given the essence of all Vedic literatures, and that essence is available to everyone. So Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, they do not see any qualifications. That's the concession for this age. So as long as a person is prepared to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, then they are given the mercy. Because they become purified, they become qualified to study the essence of Vedas, which are Śrīmad-Bhāgavad Gita, Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalananta. So Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Upanishads. Upanishads are the essence of the Vedas. So essentially, Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Vedas. And then Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Nigam Kalpataro Galitam Phalam Shukmukhad Dhruva Samyukam. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the ripened fruit of all the Vedic literatures. So just like the caste system became political, similarly, people have taken advantage to see that in Vedic culture, the women were considered as less intelligent. And therefore, they were not given the right to study the Vedas. That is not true. when we look at the qualification. That is not true, because in Vedic culture we find many great women like Draupadi and then Gargi and many others who studied the Vedas and who spoke on the Vedas. Vedic culture is all encompassing, but it was based on spiritual qualification. The Varnashram system is based on Guna Karma Vibhagas, based on the qualities and the karma, the actions that. Hare Krishna. I think I'll stop here and invite some questions or comments. Right.
Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam Prabhuji. This was a wonderful lecture by you. I'm Prem Kantadas Prabhuji. You just told that there has been a conspiracy against Brahmana in our society.
Mhm.
So on that context only, I want to share something. Can I speak in Hindi if you are comfortable?
Yes, sure.
प्रभु हमारे यहाँ पे एक कम्युनिटी पार्क है जिसमें कुछ लोगों ने एक स्पिरिचुअल ग्रुप बनाया है. उसमें व्हाट्सएप चैट पे ग्रुप बनाया उन्होंने, तो उसमें एक पोस्ट शेयर किया था किसी ने. उसमें उन्होंने लिखा, पौराणिक इतिहास उठाकर देखो कि ब्राह्मणों ने लोगों पर कितना जुल्म किया, या इतिहास में कभी ब्राह्मणों पर भी जुल्म हुआ क्या? छुआछूत, जात पात, अंधविश्वास, ढोंग और पाखंड सब ब्राह्मणों की देन है. तो आई जस्ट ट्राई टू आंसर हिम. छुआछूत, जात पात, अंधविश्वास, ढोंग और पाखंड सब ब्राह्मणों की देन है. यह बात सही नहीं है, बल्कि यह सब हमारी अज्ञानता की देन है. यो ब्रह्म जानाति स ब्राह्मण, अर्थात ब्रह्म को जानने वाला ही ब्राह्मण होता है. किंतु हम ऐसे ब्राह्मण को न पहचान कर ढोंगियों को ब्राह्मण की संज्ञा देते हैं. तो इसके लिए हमें स्वयं को शिक्षित करना चाहिए और साथ ही आत्मचिंतन भी करना चाहिए, जिससे हम किसी योग्य को अयोग्य और अयोग्य को योग्य न साबित करें. वर्णाश्रम धर्म, ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, वैश्य और शूद्र की रचना स्वयं परम पिता परमेश्वर द्वारा योग्यता और रुचि अनुसार संसार के सभी जीवों की दैनिक और शारीरिक आवश्यकताओं की पूर्ति के लिए की गई है. अतः किसी को भी अपने पद का अहंकार और दूसरे को हीन भाव से रहित होकर एक दूसरे की आवश्यकता पूर्ति करने और सामाजिक उत्थान के लिए कार्य करना चाहिए. परमात्मा हर वर्ग के, हर जीव के हृदय में स्थापित हैं. अतः एक वर्ग दूसरे वर्ग की सेवा नहीं करता, बल्कि परमात्मा की सेवा करता है. सामूहिक रूप से सभी वर्गों का अंतिम लक्ष्य परमेश्वर की सेवा करना ही है. तो प्रभु ये जो फिर उन्होंने जो जवाब दिया, वर्ण और जातियां किसने बनाई हैं, जातियों के बीच छुआछूत और नफरत किसने भरी है?
प्रभु, I'm sorry, I'm going to intervene you. Sorry प्रभु, it's fine. प्रभु जी को ये सारा पता है, आप सिर्फ क्वेश्चन
प्रभु जी मैं क्वेश्चन बस जस्ट आई एम कमिंग टू द क्वेश्चन.
वो डिस्क्रिप्शन प्रभु जी को सब पता है. ही इज वेरी एक्सपर्ट.
वो ठीक है. वो लास्ट उनका जो जवाब था प्रभु जी, दो
I humbly request you. You just ask the question in 2-3 lines. I humbly request you.
वही क्वेश्चन उन्होंने पूछा, वही मैं क्वेश्चन बता रहा हूँ. इसका जवाब है, वो क्वेश्चन उन्होंने पूछा, वर्ण और जातियां किसने बनाई, जातियों के बीच छुआछूत और नफरत किसने भरी, नफरत की किताब मनुस्मृति किसने लिखी, कालांतर में अहिंसक महान बौद्ध धर्म को भारत से किसने खत्म किया. अब उनका क्वेश्चन है, तो उसका क्या हमें जवाब देना चाहिए, या हमें इस पे आर्ग्यू करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए, हम चुपचाप बैठे रहे, क्या करना चाहिए?
तो आपने जो प्रश्न उठाए हैं ना, वो प्रश्न स्वाभाविक है, और इन्हीं प्रश्नों के आधार पर लोगों ने पूरे वैदिक समाज को, वैदिक संस्कृति को तहस नहस करके रख दिया है. बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिन्होंने पुस्तकें लिखी हैं, और मनुष्य संहिता पर बहुत से लोग कटाक्ष करते हैं, वर्ण व्यवस्था पर प्रश्न करते हैं. तो ये जो कुरीतियां आई हैं, ये वैदिक संस्कृति के कारण नहीं आई. ये आई हैं कि जो उनका अनुसरण नहीं कर पाए ठीक से, उनके कारण आई कुरीतियां. जैसे सती प्रथा थी, तो सती प्रथा एक प्रथा थी, वो वॉलंटरी थी, लेकिन बाद में ऐसा हो गया कि अगर किसी लड़की की शादी हुई है, वो नवविवाहिता है और उसका पति मर गया, तो उसको लोग फोर्सफुली, है ना, बलपूर्वक उसको आग में फेंक देते। इस तरह से ये कुप्रथा बन गई। लेकिन हम देखते हैं कि माद्री, जब महाराज पांडु की मृत्यु हो गई, तो माद्री ये स्वेच्छा पूर्वक सती हुई, किसी ने कहा नहीं, स्वेच्छा पूर्वक। तो इस तरह की जो प्रथाएं थी वो स्वेच्छा पूर्वक होती थी। लेकिन बाद में ये बन गया कि नहीं, अगर किसी भी कन्या का विवाह हुआ, अगर वो विधवा हो गई, तो उसको आग में फेंक दो। तो ये सारी कुप्रथाएं भी बंद हो गई हैं। लेकिन ये भी हुआ, जैसे हमने कहा, कि इस कलयुग में वैदिक संस्कृति का बहुत ह्रास हुआ है, और उसका कारण एक तो जो पालन करने वाले लोग हैं, उन्होंने ठीक से पालन नहीं किया, और उन्होंने उसका ऐसा गलत प्रकार से लाभ लिया। जैसे ये ब्राह्मणिकल व्यवस्था है जो और बाद में फिर जब राजनीतिक पार्टियां आ गई, तो उन्होंने उसका लाभ लिया। अभी तो वो ले ही रही है उसका लाभ। तो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज है ना, वो उसका लाभ ले रही है। उन्होंने पूरे समाज को जातियों में बांट रखा है, हिंदू समाज को। यद्यपि अन्य समाज में भी जातियां हैं, लेकिन वो जातियां कोई बोलता नहीं, है ना। सो द अदर religions, they also have this system. And sometimes you'll find there are more castes than the caste we have in the Hindu society. So I think we need to see that all these problems came for not following or understanding Vedic culture. People don't study, don't follow, and then people from outside are coming. Like now, there's a whole conspiracy against Vedic culture, and that conspiracy through by the scholars. The scholars in the West are studying the Veda, they are studying Sanskrit, and they're coming to India and interpreting those Vedas in a way to show you that your culture is very oppressive, your culture is backward. And same thing British did. I live in England, and I can see that in England there's no system as you find what they inflicted in India when they were there. They told Indians your culture is backward. Now that's not there in England. In today's modern England, you don't see that. Of course, there are some institutions like BBC and others who still carry on with the same agenda of putting the Vedic culture down and so on. So it's unfortunate situation that Vedic culture was attacked before, and it has been attacked recently, and it is still being attacked recently. Where people from the West are studying the Vedas, and they are going to India, and they are writing books to show that Ramayana is oppressive, Mahabharata is oppressive, Vedic culture is oppressive. So I think we have to study our culture ourselves and follow it, and then we can answer those who are attacking the Vedic culture. So what you were saying is that Vedic culture is being attacked. Yes, it is under attack. There is a book I saw some time back, two books actually. One book is written by a devotee of ISKCON. It is called 1000 Crimes Against India. India means Vedic culture. 1,000 Crimes Against India, written by Stephen Knapp, one devotee, Nityanand Prabhu. Another book is, I think it's Hinduism Under Siege. Both give you a lot of details how Vedic culture is being attacked. So as devotees, first of all, we have to study and have faith in our scripture, in our culture. Then we can withstand others who are attacking the culture. It's not only one place or one community or one nation. Vedic culture is being attacked universally. More or less, everybody is against Vedic culture. It's an unfortunate situation. So we have to study, have strong faith in the scriptures, study them, and then we will be able to answer. Okay, bro, so I'm not going to say what you name these people, because if you have strong faith in the scriptures, you will answer them appropriately. But this is not only one group. This is universal attack on Vedic culture, particularly through intellectuals, so-called intellectuals. People are doing they're doing conferences, worldwide conferences, how to eradicate Vedic culture, and from well-known universities. This is very, very serious attack on culture, but we can somehow, first of all, save ourselves, and then we try to save others. We have to save ourselves by having a strong faith in Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, and then we can save others. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. You given a very nice answer, very relevant answer. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Prem Kanta Prabhu is very senior devotee in our congregation, and daily he is coming and giving us your association. I'm very thankful to Prabhuji. And I think we will end the session because it's a working day for the most of the devotees. But I am very grateful to Raghunath Prabhu and all the assembled Vaishnava in our temple. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was saying Raghupati. Guru Maharaj gave me the name Raghupati.
Yes, Raghupati, Prabhu. Yeah, I'm sorry, Prabhu. So I know Raghupati Prabhu since many years, and Prabhu is living in London with his wife. Mataji also Bhakti Chalu Maharaj disciple, and she is distributing Srila Prabhupada books in the UK. And Prabhuji is a professor and have one daughter. She's also a devotee, and they are cultivating Krishna consciousness so nicely. So we will look forward your association in the sooner as well, Prabhu. I'm very grateful to you. You are my very dear God brother, and whenever we ask for the service, you are always available. And we will pay our Vaishnava pranam to all the Vaishnava who are assembled, and then we will continue with our chanting session. Hare Krishna, Raghupati Prabhu. Thank you once again
Hare
from
Krishna.
your.
Thank you to all the devotees, and my wishes to you.
Hare Krishna. One thing more, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare